It's like playing a game with a cheat code. So what's the fucking fun? I'm gonna kill everybody.
I don't know what's that thing about me, but I have to be the best at everything. I don't know, like, because I think I used to be so bad at things that when I realized that I'm good at something, it went in the completely wrong direction. Because when I realized that I can be good at something, I wanted to be best at everything.
One thing AI has shown me is that the only thing that pays off right now is to be you. Because everything else you can do it with AI, and AI can make you a song in 5 seconds, and it's gonna suck, and it's gonna have Tonight and Forever repeated 1,000 times.
The pressure even keeps me from releasing a single, because I know that the first question that I'm gonna get is, so another single.
Yes.
Where is the album?
I don't know.
Where is the album?
Tell me. Hello, this is the Santiago's Creative Journey podcast, where I talk with all the artists that have influenced me and have been along by my side in my path in all my creative endeavors. Today we have Anna Krista, a great singer and songwriter and performer that I made song with in the past. And we're going to have a conversation where we talk about everything we have gone through together. We're going to go down memory lane and remembering all the things that we used to do related to music. And difficult conversations, because I really wanted to work with her one more time. And at that time, she wasn't available. But I'm happy that everything played out, because she's better than ever. And I know she will come back, and that we still have days ahead of us. So come join this amazing conversation. Yeah, and enjoy it. Hello. Finally.
Hi.
Finally.
Hi,
How are
Santiago.
you? How
Well,
are you?
Now good.
Now good.
Nice to see you.
Same
Really,
here.
really good.
Same here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting
Yes.
and welcoming.
By the way, I told Anya the other day, I tell her, like, wow, I can't believe that we haven't talked with Anna. Because we have been thinking of, there's a specific reason why we called you like this time around, because that I'll tell you
Later
very
on.
soon.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very cool that you came. As I was telling you, I've been kind of in my journey of documenting everything that I've been doing. And technology is very impressive. So we were doing everything with the phones there. And now we're here like this, sounding a little bit better, looking a little bit better, which is important.
Always better.
Yes.
Yeah, always
yes.
improving and
Always
evolving.
improving.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm happy that you're here. I want to talk a bunch of stuff with you. But first of all, how are you?
Well, I'm really good, actually.
Okay.
I think, the sun might be doing also something good here, because
sure.
like the past few days when the heat starts to get higher, right? I also feel that like my blood
Yeah.
pressure is also starting to get higher in the best way possible.
Okay.
So, but it's actually very busy, very, very busy, but I'm doing great,
Okay.
doing a lot of things, a lot of wonderful things.
Okay.
So
That's
yeah.
good. I saw that you had a concert or a little presentation on the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like some specific, all about me kind
Okay.
of concert.
Okay.
However, it was a really, really beautiful, small, acoustic, intimate gig.
Okay.
At this one.
Where wasn't I
Yeah.
invited?
Well, didn't you see the posters everywhere? No,
No,
I mean, it
most
wasn't
probably
everywhere.
they were in Latvian, so most probably I saw them and I
Most
didn't
likely.
understand.
Well, but there was a picture of me on it, so
Okay.
maybe you just didn't notice. However,
Okay.
it was really nice. It was this like pool bar called Bums
Okay.
celebrated their 11th birthday, and me and my guitar player Dominix, we were invited to like perform.
Okay.
2 sets, and it was so nice because even though I've been in, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, I think I was like a furniture in that place.
Okay.
I was there too many times that I had to, but I was there. I really enjoyed that place, and even though I know how, like, the audience there, and I know that they are kind of crazy, they are like pool and dart players, and then they are, presented with intimate acoustic concert.
Wow.
And at first I was like, okay, so how it's gonna play out?
Okay.
But it was so wonderful. I cannot even explain. It was like a big sing along, you know?
Okay.
Everyone was singing together. We also, me and Dominic specifically chose, the songs that would not only, be as a background music, but um, rather songs that people know by heart, but they don't listen to it now. So, some
Okay.
nostalgic vibes,
Well, give me
basically.
one, like
Like, cliche song, the best one for sing-alongs, Oasis Wonderwall. I mean,
okay, for
it's
sure.
for sure, right? So
Yeah.
it's like it's so simple that it's so cheesy, and people might think it's stupid,
Yeah.
but it ain't stupid if it works, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, and
I
it
agree.
worked. It really worked. Everyone was singing along. The hands were waving, and it was so nice.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And how long was it? How big? Like, but because you said you had two sets,
Yeah, yeah. It
how was
was
that?
like 45 minutes one set, and then 45 minutes the other. So it's like two times, like
Okay,
two
nice.
sets.
So you're still connected to music,
I
feeling the
am.
vibe.
I must say, however, that
You were missing it. It's a question.
yeah. It is a question and a fact, right?
Yeah.
So it's a statement as well. I do miss maybe being more in my own music, right?
Okay.
Because now, actually, I've been singing with this really, really nice band, Ginger Band.
Okay.
I've been singing like all through Latvia, all summer, and like all these. I don't know the name in English. Sorry, maybe how do you say? For companies, these all
Okay.
Latvian English popular songs. All the Latvian traditional music
Okay.
that you would hear on summer evenings in some
Yeah.
regional festivals, right?
Yeah.
And it's been so much fun. It's actually been also kind of like after the gig, you're so drained because like usually it would start like at 10 p.m. And it would be like three sets.
Yeah.
So it would maybe end, at 2 a.m. and then you gotta come back home and then you're like, okay.
But you drive after that all the way back here?
Well, I'm not usually the
Yeah,
driver,
of course.
right? But of course we gotta come back home,
Yeah.
right? So that's also been one of my journey now, where I'm not particularly like singing my own music.
Okay.
But it's still been a very, very, very fun
Okay.
experience.
With that ginger band.
Yeah, exactly.
Why ginger? Ginger as in there are ginger?
Yeah, no, they're not. So I don't know. I've been asking them why ginger band. So are you like a vegetable? Are
Yeah.
you ginger like
Yeah,
your
yeah.
hair? Because no. So but the question like remains a secret.
Okay.
So I haven't figured it out.
Okay.
Maybe they've told me, but the definition wasn't clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but I'm happy that you're still connected with music and doing music and yeah. Well, it's like when we met, I met you literally. I don't know how drunk I was. I wasn't that drunk that day, but we were in the karaoke and rock
Probably
cafe.
I was.
You were, but you also weren't that drunk either.
Okay.
I've seen you worse, and you've seen me worse.
That's
The
true.
best day was the day of I don't remember if it was an essay fest or something, that they were dancing. I still say this joke, that they were dancing bachata, and then you said, "Oh my God, they're dancing chabata." I would never forget that. And every time I see somebody dancing bachata in a bad way, I say, look, they're dancing chabata.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that would, stick to your memory,
No.
because I also remember that part, actually.
for sure.
I remember how you were laughing, and I sincerely thought that the name was Ciabatta.
I know.
Bachata, right?
No, but we were all drinking, so it was a pass.
Yeah.
But it's a clever joke. Actually, it's a clever joke. When you see somebody that is trying to dance bachata but not actually pull it off, it feels more like chabata. So I still use
No,
it.
like clumsy.
Yeah.
Bachata is Ciabatta.
It's chabata, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I haven't seen you for a while, but I'm happy that you're making music, because when we met, I remember you were doing music, and I met you kind of early when I was starting to get into the music stuff. And for me, well, I'm still mind blown how good people are hearing music. Like
That's true.
I'm gonna tell you. On Saturday, we went to. I have a vocal coach that she helped me with the song that I recorded for the movie, and she had a little concert in something that is called the Lodge. It's where the VG studio is. It's like a little bar there, and they made this kind of cute presentation. She made some of her own songs and some covers. Some covers. But she invited 3 friends. Yeah. And they were so good. It's just crazy because, that place maybe it's a 10-minute ride from my house. Could be a 7-minute ride. It's really close. And I'm just shocked how good. I actually wrote to one of the girls and I started talking with her and I said, like, listen, we got to work together, because I was blown away how good. Well, and my teacher, I knew how good she was. But it's the fact that people here are so good that I'm shocked.
But there is some explanation for that, right?
Okay.
I think. Well,
give me your theory.
It's not a fact,
okay,
right? But
yeah.
it's just a saying, that Latvians have since the beginning of times. Yeah. That Latvian is a singing nation. You know, that is how Latvians were raised, how we were. Maybe we weren't raised, with these gospel voices, right? Yeah. But we, for sure, have been raised, to sing and to enjoy music. And I think maybe it sounds funny, but I think it has to do something with it. Yeah.
No, but for me, it's particularly impressive, the singing, because I'm gonna tell you, I come from Latin America, and Latin American music is a very big part of our culture, and it's 1,000 times more part of our culture than here. I still say I've been in Latvia for, it's going to be, I think, 10 years next year. And nobody has ever come to me to say, listen, you got to listen to this Latvian song. Never. And if you go to my country or anywhere in Latin America, it's going to be 5 minutes. And what you hear on the radio, people dancing on the streets and your friends dancing when they're walking somewhere. Like, we're very... how's it called? The music is very connected with the culture. For me, it's very impressive here that there's a huge disconnect between the music and the culture, because nobody's listening to Latvian music in the streets or in the cafes or in the haircut. Like, for example, you go to get a haircut in my country, and you're gonna have music, Latin American music, played on a loop forever. And with all the music videos, it's happening all the time.
But do you think it's the music thing, or is it a cultural thing? So, we as people, just as a nation, right? And me and every single other Latvian, because I think, from other, my friends, I must be the most expressive one. But if I compare myself to you, I might be boring, right?
Okay, I get it.
So maybe it's not about the music itself, it's about how we express.
Well, I think it's a little bit of both, because from my experience, especially when I was working with your friend before and in his musical project, the way the songs that were happening, what they're talking, like in my culture, the song is very connected, what it talks about, to what we are doing. Yeah. So there's a clear connect. Here, every time I hear Latvian things, the song is more talking about what you should be than what you are.
But Santiago, here you are saying exactly the words why I've been so disconnected from my music. Yeah. Because this is exactly what I feel for myself as well. Yeah. That the things that I have within me are not translating to what I write on the paper. Yeah. Right?
Well, whose fault is that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, but you have to go and put it because I think there's the whose fault is that? It's obviously a joke, but what I mean, what I mean is that it's like I write music right now. I'm making music right now. I feel I have to say things, and I just can't keep them. you talk a lot, I talk a lot, yeah. But when I go to write, the same thing that I'm telling to you, I'm gonna put it on a song. I feel the approach here has been what I've seen. Yeah, it's a little bit of, it's kind of like, as it's like this music is aspirational. It's like this is what we should be, but not what we are. In Latin America, it's the other way around. It's just what we are. So it's very, very different, the approach
Well,
in the writing, because I also, my ex roommate was one of the number one artists in my country, so I was very close to what he would talk on the songs. And of course there's some kind of poetry and magic and this, but I would relate every time I hear a good, like, I'm gonna tell you, the last Bad Bunny song that I read, that it was kind of like everywhere in the radio. Well, in the radio, no, but from my friends, Latin American friends that are sharing it, the hook was, I should have taken more photos of when we were having fun. I don't remember the lyrics, but I was like, I've had that sentiment. Oh fuck, I should have made more photos. So it's what he's saying is something that I relate, and I'm pretty sure
even
that
though it's very simple, right?
it's very simple, but very true. And it could be complicated also, because there are things that I relate to that are very complicated, but still they're true. There's a base of truth that I think in general in the content that is being made, it has been lost. So for example, if I see, social media here from people, it's more showing what they're supposed to be than what they're, I think there's I'm not saying everything is one way or everything is the other, but the tendencies, I just feel that there's clear tendencies.
But have you found like any artist here, maybe, right, that you feel the click, that you could see the approach being similar to what you experienced?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. But what I will tell you this, from any artist that I know here, they're at least 1,000 times more talented than any artist that I know in Latin America. And I know pretty big artists. And the funny part is this, the artists that I know here, they don't think they're good. And that blows my mind. The girls don't think they're pretty. That blows my mind. Like the whole situation, it blows my mind, because I think.
Have you seen? Okay, today not, but
Yeah.
like, have you seen like the weather? Right, you've been here for 10
Yeah.
10 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, during winter, right, we kind of like hibernate, like we and that's how, like, if you, I believe, like, if
Yeah.
you would talk to me during winter, I would be so self-critique. And
Yeah.
then the spring comes, it's getting better. It's like a flower.
Yeah.
I think we also follow the nature's lead, basically, with our
be.
like how do you say, with our beings, right?
Yeah.
Like what's inside us. We also tend to being more self-aware that we are actually good at things when the weather tells us, right, that hey, everything's actually fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very. It might sound stupid, to put this correlation between these two things.
No, I think you got a point. Yeah.
It could be, right?
It could be. I think there is a, for me, it's equally crazy for a person that can't sing say, no, I'm the best singer in the world, than a person that is an amazing singer to say, wow, I'm not that good. For me, it looks the same crazy. It's
Maybe
like,
we just lack self-awareness.
yes, that's what I believe. I'm going to give mirrors to everybody. It's like, this is who you are. These are recording tapes so that you can hear yourself.
Like, have you seen in Harry Potter, there is like in this one, in one of the movies, right? There is this magic mirror where you like go and you look into it.
Okay.
And it kind of shows you what you want to see the most.
Okay.
Right? So maybe for Latvians, like everyone could see like their best selves.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that could be our motivation to
yes,
to become better.
I feel that at some moment somebody's gonna be like, fuck it, I don't care that I'm bad, and they're just gonna push through, and then everybody's gonna get, how to say, inspired, because it's just like I'm impressed from both sides. I'm expecting more, and I do feel the more that I have understand about the local industry, I've understood that there's a certain bad decisions that have been put in place that they really don't help the local artist. But the thing is, like in my country, we're gonna find a way. Like people just want to do it for wanting to do it. Yeah, and yeah, it's a different thing. I also, to be fair, because I was talking about this a couple of days ago, I don't know if it's also generational. Yeah, that I was talking with a friend that he's the best editor in the country that makes the biggest movies, and he used to have a rock band, and I was like, when I came the first years to Latvia, I started working with him, making music videos for him and this kind of things. And I remember thinking like, man, people here work so much and this and that. And I was telling him in the podcast, I was telling him, I thought you would be the standard. I didn't know how extremely lucky I got when I met you, because that rock band had like four guys and they're all super successful right now, but really, really big. So I thought that was going to be the standard that I was going to meet here. But as I said, it could be something generational because I was talking to him that I was telling him like, we wanted just to make cool stuff. We didn't care about how many views, how much money, how many, because it felt impossible that you were going to make anything. Yeah. So then you would just do it for the fun of doing it. Yeah. So that has changed a little bit, but yeah, but it's cool that I've met you. Well, that I met you so early in that journey of the music.
Actually, I think I remember the first time when maybe it wasn't the first, but it definitely was one of the first times.
If you remember, I think I know, and it was the first time.
We went to Rockafest.
Yes,
it was.
That's where we met. Yeah.
Yeah,
but you were on your own. We ran into you into Rockafest.
Yes. We kind of saw each other there.
Yes.
Because I knew our mutual friend.
Yes.
And
he literally told me, I have this friend. If she would be here, it would be so cool. She sings so good. And then you're walking down the stairs. Then I'm like, oh my God. Now I'm remembering that I was very drunk, because I remember how drunk I was when I was like, oh my God, it's her. Yes. I'm like, damn, I'm super drunk. And then all of you started singing. It was amazing. It was amazing.
We went downstairs to the basement and we sang karaoke.
Yes.
I remember.
Yes.
I don't remember which song though. But
you sang Shallow. Yes, I remember.
Oh my God, that's true. I haven't sang that song for a long time.
Yeah.
Now my always go-to karaoke song is Simply the Best.
It's simply okay. Yeah. Good.
I love it. I love that song. I mean, for me, it seems that I don't know any other song when I'm in karaoke, because that's the only one that I go to.
Well, but if it's your fun song, that's
my fun song. Yeah. And also, because that is my fun song, I actually told the Ginger Band, like, hey, we should sing this song. Like, we should add it to our playlist as well, like to our set list. And, as like they weren't skeptical at all. It just wasn't the song that they were playing beforehand, and they've been playing together since 2018. Okay. So, and this song somehow didn't like come
Made the
up,
cut.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And now this is the song that will always finish one of the sets, always.
Okay.
Because everyone goes nuts
with that song.
I mean, when I'm telling you nuts, I mean nuts.
Okay.
Like crazy, The people who wouldn't stand up the whole time for that song, they would just jump out of the chairs and and dance and sing. It's a really great song for the parties, especially if you have a full band. Amazing. Okay. People love it. I didn't know how much of an impact
it would have.
It would have on people, but it's not like it. I already have some some data, because we have, exactly like it's been like plenty of times when I've noticed this, and in many different in front of many different audience groups, right?
Okay.
Right? And it's always the same.
Oh, simply the best.
Simply the best. And I haven't noticed like this kind of like effect with any other song. Like,
we'll have to see it. We'll have to see it. Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's a groovy song. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. It's very inspirational.
Exactly. And I think it's also because it's very like rocky.
Yeah.
It's dancey, and also it brings you back to some, it gives you just like the feeling that you're good, right?
Yes.
That you're feeling fine and you're good, and also mostly people are not listening to the song, like consciously
Yeah.
daily, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they hear that song, they're like, oh my god, I haven't heard this one for such a long time. It's a great song. Let's dance. It somehow gives you a signal
Okay.
that okay, now I gotta dance.
But
It's
that's
my
good
time.
data. That's good
Yeah.
data on
Yeah, yeah.
what people here react to. Okay.
White people music.
Yeah. And have you been doing music lately, like writing your songs or something?
Uh, yeah, well, I try to. I mean, as I told you before, it's actually the reason why I'm very stuck in that
Okay.
moment is because I'm very scared. Like to be very honest,
Okay.
with you and with the people who listen to this
Yes.
podcast.
My
Um,
mom.
my
Thank you, mom.
mom.
No, no, I'm kidding. I'm
Well,
kidding.
she
My
doesn't.
mom. My mom doesn't watch it. So
Yeah,
it's fine.
my mom does. Well, she understands some English, but probably not everything. However, I did write a song. I also, it's actually finished, it's mastered and everything. I think it was even a year ago, which I think,
And you haven't released it.
no.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know, because that song, every time when I listen to it, I want to cry. Like, it really, I think from everything that I've ever written,
Okay.
this is absolutely the best.
Okay.
And I know it.
Okay.
And I think that is the reason why it takes so long for me to publish it, right?
Okay.
Because I'm constantly waiting like for the right time, but I don't think it's gonna come,
It's not never
it's
gonna
never
come.
gonna come.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think I should start to think about some visuals and just
Yeah, just release it.
just release it.
It's not gonna do anything in your hard drive. So I feel
Yeah.
it's a waste of hard drive to have things there without being released. Well, when I started, technology was so much different that I really like how things are right now. For example, today I sat and wrote a song in 30 minutes in my bedroom. It's just because technology is so good right now. So I enjoy this part.
Do you also somehow implement some AI features in your
Never.
songwriting?
No, because for me, I'm gonna tell you, for me, the problem with AI is that I like doing the stuff. Yeah. So if the AI is gonna help me do it, it's like playing a game with a cheat code. Yeah. So what's the fucking fun? I'm gonna kill everybody. Like the fun is play the game in a difficulty enough that is a game. Because if not, I feel I'm playing with children. Aside from the fact of this, and I think if the robot gets alive, he's gonna come first for me. I feel he's too stupid. Like AI, everything that punches. But I think AI has accelerated something that I was already seeing when I was at school. When I was at school, the first year studying film, we would write ourselves with our hands the shot list. We have to make, let's say, a music video. So, we're gonna put the camera here and whatever, and then all the clouds and the smoke happens.
Drawing
and
on
there's
the paper, right? Like
yeah,
the small
With-
squares, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
But bad because we're doing it ourselves. The second year, YouTube was already bigger, and then every time I would go to a class, what I would see is people taking the scenes from YouTube. So it switched from your imagination to something that it was already done. And I never thought too much of it because I felt back then it was just slower for me to get in YouTube to find something, a copy, and make it. So I would just write it how I would see it with the tools that I would have. It would be very simple. I didn't have any complicated camera shots or camera tricks because I was literally just beginning to shoot. Yeah. But what has happened is that then everybody started copying what was already there. And what I started experiencing in the cinema is that I know the shots that come after. I can finish actors' words because they all perform the same way. And I remember one day I was sitting with Annie in the cinema and we started watching a movie, terrible movie, which I'm not going to say the name because, all artists are trying to make a living. So I'm not going to be trashing anybody. But terrible movie. I was there because the executive producer, sometimes they tricked you. They said the movie from this guy, and you're like, okay, he directed. No, he was just the executive producer, and he did nothing in the thing. But the movie's starting, the camera is moving like crazy. I'm like, this guy never made this movie. I just go on my phone, I go on IMDb, and clear as day, he's just an executive producer. There's a different director. And I tell Anya, we start talking, and we start talking. She tells me, why is it so bad? And I just started to deconstruct why the movie was so bad. And the main thing is that I can just know everything that is going to happen.
But do you think, so for example, I have this one song
Yeah.
that everyone loves. So it's a jazz music standard, right? So
Okay.
I can actually name the song.
Okay.
It's Fly Me to the Moon.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
People love that song.
Yeah.
Usually everyone loves it. I used to as well.
Yeah.
I really did. And then I got so, can I swear?
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
I got so fucking bored by that song that now when it's just start to play, I feel shivers going down my spine.
Yeah.
It's that bad, right?
Yeah.
It's actually very, very bad.
Yeah.
And I think it's because, I've heard that song so many times. I had to sing that song so many times that it, like, for me, it started, like, it just became very, very boring.
Yeah.
And because you also know the structure of everything that could theoretically work for, it's because you know what's coming, because those are probably maybe theoretically like the best practices on how to like step 1, step 2, step 3, right?
Yeah.
And maybe that's the reason for you. But maybe for me, I would watch the movie, I would be like, I would never guess.
Yes, but the difference between you and me is just going to be the time. Because whenever, like, let's say, that's a great example that you put. Let's say, Fly Me to the Moon. And then everybody starts, I'm going to write a new song. And it's not Fly Me to the Moon, but it's Buy Me to
the moon.
Buy me to the groove. Yeah. And I sing it, buy me to the groove. And somebody else goes and makes, I don't know, catch me to the tune. Catch me to everybody sings the same song. Whatever is going to come later, you know that it's going to da-da-da. What starts happening is that everything becomes the same. And this is what has happened. I can finish actors' lines. And I tell to people, if I can finish an actor line, is the failure of the writer, because the writer writes something that I already know. Is the failure of the director, because he directed it in a way that I already know what's going to come. It's a failure of the actor, because he delivers in a way that I can finish his line. But nowadays, it's also the failure of the acting coach, of the writer.
Just everything that could go wrong.
It's all the people that are doing the thing.
Yeah.
And everybody's failing because we're doing the same. And, you can fool people sometimes, how Bob Marley says, but you can't fool people all the time. So that's the thing that starts happening. That at the beginning, I catch up because I studied. But you just go to the cinema and you're bored.
No, but I mean, if you say so, then, but I don't think it's just my superpower, right? I think it's just general that also in music, what happens now, right? You probably also have noticed that whenever I play radio, the biggest hits are taking samples for hits 10, 15, 20 years back, right?
Yeah.
And maybe that's how, it's...
Yeah, but how long is that gonna last? Because we're not making the hits now.
I am, like, with those songs, I am bored.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hearing that specific song for the first time, and I want to switch the channel like 10 seconds later, because I know the song already. And especially if the lyrics goes, I love you so,
Yeah, yeah.
The day and the night. I love you so.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That
Okay, I
1000%.
love you too. Bye.
Exactly. You get bored. But that's what happens, that you disconnect. It's not on
Yeah.
an intellectual level, in theory. Well, people like this, we're just rehousing it for now. But on a reality, you just don't feel it.
Mhm.
It's like I used to go to the cinema at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. Now I have to force myself to go to a cinema because movies became so bad that my habit, that I they killed my habit. Yeah, like I don't even remember anymore. Like, oh, what is in the? It's not even in my head.
Like, what is the emotion that you most associated yourself with? You know, with the movies when you felt that that it didn't that it wasn't
Yeah.
going down the hill. Do you
Eh,
have any specific?
I would say, well, for sure you would have this sort of uh wha- I don't think it was anything specific, but I would always come out of the cinema with this sense of wonder, of like, wow, I never thought of this. Like, wow, it's like I never imagined. I remember one movie that I saw, that it was a very serious movie. It's called The Hurt Locker. It was from 2009. There's a war movie. And it's a grown up movie,
Mhm.
but I had so many moments that I, because the guy goes to war, and he goes to war, and at some moment he comes back from the war, and he's in an aisle where the wife has told him, please pick up some cereal. Yeah. And there's like 1,000 cereals, and he doesn't even know what to pick because there's so much stuff there. But he has been, disarming bombs in the, it's like, what are you doing there when you can disarm? It's like you feel you have no meaning in life. When I saw that movie, I was doing a theater play, and that sense of what is normal life, because when you do a theater place, you rehearse for so long, and you're in a black box for so long, that you kind of like travel in time to a different dimension. And when you finish, you're like, and now what? Like,
Gotta switch back like
you gotta switch my,
instantly, right?
and now I gotta talk to the guy in the bakery and talk about bread. How does this work?
I just went to war.
Yeah, exactly. I was like killing my mom in this play. It's like all epic stuff, and now I have to be here talking about bread. It made no sense. But what I mean with that is that it's a completely disconnected story. I've never been even anything associated with the military. I've always had the utmost respect for people that dedicate their life to that, because I would never do it. Well, I never had the drive. If anything, I had the drive to run away from it. So I've been very completely different world. But that message, I could relate.
Felt something.
Yeah. I relate to the message of being out of place, and being so concentrating into just one form of living, that then the normal stuff of life loses, makes no sense, and you feel like, I don't even know how to handle this.
Yeah, I was asking you this because I have defined myself this one very specific emotion that I'm always searching for in
Okay.
music, and is this nostalgic
Okay.
feeling. I'm not really sure. Well, probably it's from my father, right? He's
Okay.
also very melancholic, and it
Okay.
also have transferred to me.
Okay.
And I've really noticed that my heart music will be the one where I feel that even though I haven't heard the song before, I have lived the song before, right?
Okay.
So that somehow, like the chord progression, the storyline, everything just makes my body go.
Okay.
That's and if we go even more if even more deeper into this topic, I have specific band for specific weather, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's so interesting, and especially when it's been like that for the past 15 years, maybe not less, maybe 10 or so. There's this Canadian band called City and Colors,
Okay.
with Dallas Green as a main vocal, and he has this very acoustic yet folk yet rocky indie kind of all of this mashed together. I'm not really sure what would be the genre of it, right?
Okay.
But whenever the autumn comes, and especially some middle October until middle November, when outside the window, it starts to get like twilight-ish.
Okay.
When the color changes,
Okay.
I'm always listening to that band, like in those specific hours or minutes, right?
Wow.
And only in
crazy.
autumn. I know. And because of that, I consider that band being my favorite, you know,
Okay.
the most to my heart, even though I don't listen to it any other time, right? Like,
but it has that specific.
it has the most specific time and place. It has been defined to me the most from
Yeah.
any other music bands, songs or whatever. Maybe I've connected with it so much, you know, because it also emotionally have given me this safe place for this specific time that I know always where I'm going to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there listening to City and Colors.
Yes.
Right?
Okay. Nice. But I've never. You're telling me this. I'm like, oh, I need to do a meditation like that. Like reflect on that, because I didn't even had that question on my radar of like, what am I looking for? But in movies, is that sense of wonder when you find some. I gravitate a lot towards things that I'm like, oh, like wow, yeah, it's true. You know, that kind of feeling of like, oh, I hadn't paid attention to this yet. It is 1000% true. That sense of like wonder and wow, I have never. This is what connects me specifically to movies. When it comes to music, I'm just a slut. I like everything. Like,
But do you also like? Is that something, you know, this wonder feeling? Is it something really important to you also in your daily life? Is it, you know, something that makes you the most joyful when you feel wonder-ish?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
for me, nostalgia, is it
Yeah,
how you
yeah,
say
yeah.
it in English? I'm not really sure.
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, this word.
Yeah.
That is the thing that always, when I'm feeling like nostalgia,
Yeah.
I'm always the happiest, you know? I want
Okay.
to cry,
Okay.
you know, but I'm the happiest.
Yeah, nostalgia is kind of like an interesting. I'm not too much into. I'm gonna say it's particular that you bring that, because I'm not gonna say that I'm anti nostalgia, but I have a very. I make a conscious effort on looking into the future, and of course, I'm always revising the past, because I believe that if you don't own your past, you will never own your future. Yeah, so you have to really come to terms with the mistakes you have made, or the good things that you had made, or the luck that you had, or whatever it is, so that you can have a sense of direction when you're moving forward. But that's why I'm always trying to. So, for example, you know, like the typical thing that you meet with your high school friends and they start talking about the good old times. I hate that. I'm like, let's go out, let's make the good times right now that we're gonna talk after.
No, but
it's a little bit different.
No, but
yeah.
I absolutely understand what you're saying, because I'm not looking for anything specific in the past, right?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure whether it is somehow connected to the past.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It's just
that feeling.
It's just the feeling.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything in the past that, you know, that I want to bring up, you know, that somehow sticks to my.
That you still remember.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
There is nothing specific, definitely. It's just the feeling itself.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's not even nostalgia, right? I think it is. Maybe
it's something different. Yeah.
Maybe if I put it on the paper, someone would say, no, it's something completely different. I don't know. I call it nostalgia.
Yeah. No, but I get what you mean.
Yeah. Because I'm also more live in the moment person, right?
Yeah.
And I also don't like to dig very much deep in the past, as well as you say, right?
Yeah.
Like to retrospect on.
Well,
on things.
I retrospect, but I'm not. I feel like I at least around my circle of close friends, there's a lot of people that, oh, you remember when I'm like, I don't. First, I don't remember, so that doesn't help me. Yeah, so
your memory is also really bad, right? Mine
terrible,
too.
terrible.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, like I have a friend today. He was telling me, Jorge is there. He was telling me, oh, you remember that fish we ate? I'm like, 14 years ago we ate that fish. Of course I don't remember.
No,
What are
but
you
you know
talking
what's
about?
funny? It's that my memory is terrible. I'm like a goldfish, like three
Yeah.
seconds gone.
Yeah.
It's like never happened.
Yeah.
But my best friend, I would always remember the smallest details
Yeah.
about her and about like what we've been through
Okay.
together.
Okay. Okay.
About anything else, it's like nothing. It's a blank space.
So it's very selective. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know why, because she always would say, "How do you remember those things?" And I'm like, I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know why, because this would also be, do you remember
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fish that we ate 14 years
Yeah,
ago?
yeah.
She wouldn't be surprised at all if
Yeah.
I asked her the same question, right?
Okay.
But any other things I have to write down specifically what I'm about to do that day.
Okay.
Otherwise it's just gonna be out of my mind, out of
Okay.
my head, like out of my sight, out of my head, out of my memory.
Well, I think in my case, I don't know if I'm just trying to give myself a pass, but the thing with the memory is that I feel I'm always doing. It's like my mind is full,
Mhm.
so I have to throw stuff up to deal with the things of today.
Just the
Yeah.
memory
Yeah,
disc
it's
is
full,
yeah, it's
and I have to
full.
clean it up.
Yeah.
So maybe people come with a bigger memory disc, and I just have a tiny one. But I have a very bad memory. Of course, I have one certain memories from a long time, and it is true that in the journey I remember specifics. Like for example, I remember what you sang when we met.
Yeah.
Yeah, like which is not you didn't even remember, but they are
There's some core memory, right?
core memories.
Yeah.
But the day-to-day stuff and the fun stuff, rarely I remember.
Do you want to hear a really fun fact? I don't know if it's gonna be funny, but
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone else like dealing with this stuff, because you were like, we were comparing the memory like to memory disk, as
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
computer. Whenever I drink coffee,
Yeah.
I faint, right? So I always express this, describe the feeling
Yeah.
as I'm like a computer, right? Who needs to restart, because it actually feels like this, like da 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 dum,
Okay.
and then I have to restart. I never
When you drink coffee,
when I drink coffee.
why?
It's the doctors haven't found like the real reason, but the
Kind of theory.
kind of theory
Yeah.
is that like my blood pressure has always been kind of low,
Okay.
and on my right side of my lobe,
Right. Okay.
brain lobe, I don't know,
Okay.
the blood vessels are very very narrow, right?
Okay.
Very thin, and somehow when I drink coffee, the blood pressure like goes up, but the vessels,
Yeah.
they thin even more, and and it's like bzz, and then,
Okay.
like,
Okay. But that's such a particular crazy thing.
I don't know.
Like
I
a
don't know
quirk.
why.
Like a
Yeah.
crazy character quirk.
Yeah.
I drink coffee. Huh.
It's not like one sip or two. It's,
No, I
like,
get it,
Like
I
it's
get it.
specifically when I like drink the whole cup of
Yeah.
coffee, then pretty soon after. Okay, I'll be honest. Because of that, I haven't drank like a whole coffee for
Thank
a
you.
long time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maybe my partner, though, he really wants me to like
To faint.
to check whether it's still like happening. But I'm like, hey, it's one addiction less for me, right?
Yeah.
And if I want to, I can always buy decaf. Right?
Yes, I do decaf a lot of the times during the
Yeah.
day. But I also drink coffee. And if I would faint every time
You
I
would
would
still
drink
drink.
coffee, I would still drink and then wake up later like, woof, this coffee was,
That was
hard.
a good one.
Exactly. It's fun. It's fun to remember all the things and yeah. I'm impressed that you have such a self-reflection on specific feelings. That
Yeah.
okay, what's the feeling that you're looking for here and you're looking for there?
But sometimes it really actually comes as a difficult thing for me, because I tend to kind of apply feeling to everything that happens,
Yeah.
and sometimes when even I don't have to, I still do.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like a burden, especially it's not that much anymore, but it used to be very much about like my health, for example.
Yeah.
Because when I started to, for example, I don't know, I had a headache, right? Simple thing, a headache, move on, drink some pill,
Yeah.
and that's it. I would have to, oh my God, how do I feel now because my head hurts? You know,
Okay.
I would always ask myself, how do I, you know, and it's such a self-pity thing.
Yeah.
And I really, really try to kind of stop that from happening,
Yeah.
because of course it's really nice, you know, to be emotional and to know what kind of feelings you have. I don't know if it's nice or just some creepy thing, some some my body is my temple thing,
It's
right?
okay. It's okay. It's okay.
but yeah, it like at some point it started to feel like it's a headache. Move on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's harder
you
things
don't
in
have
life.
to, you don't have to sit and like, how do I feel now? So how does it make me feel?
Yeah.
You
What
know,
does this
open the
mean?
notebook.
What does this
What
mean?
does it mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it really, it used to be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I used to have kind of like I was overwhelmed by my feelings until I took an acting class.
Mm.
And then it became so clear that you're not your feelings, that your feelings are literally nonsense. Not meaning that they're not important, but that they make no sense. That your body at some times for certain things, and we can then dive into why, but that's a longer, more complicated conversation. But you can take it as face value when
So for people like me, you would advise not to go to therapy, but to acting classes maybe.
I've advised a lot of people you need to go to an acting class, like because I feel that it's really helpful to under. When I was doing acting, I felt that it should be in schools for everybody because in acting, the one thing that they teach you is about yourself, and that's the one thing you're gonna have all your life. Why do you care if you know how to use a guitar if you don't know how to use yourself? You need to learn yourself after learning the guitar. And I think in my case, acting had such a profound effect in helping me deal with reality because then now I took all the feelings as mine and as something that at face value. Yeah, I don't know, somebody looks at me and I get angry. Why? It doesn't matter. You just get angry. So when people are going to look at you, you're going to get angry and you're going to understand that this is the human model, 555, whatever, Santiago Rivero model, gets angry when he hits low. And I would detach out of all the things. And that was really helpful because
or maybe you learned there like better, you know, some self-regulation.
So self what?
Like regulate, like
yeah.
Regulation, how to regulate emotions. And
yes, you do, but I think it's more valuable to understand yourself.
what is what?
Yes, like, oh, I'm raging, angry. I want to kill this person, and this is my feeling. It has nothing to do with them. Yeah, and step two, you can learn self-regulate. You like I found my own ways how to solve my problems, how to do with things. So, for example, I would get so mad that I would need like 3 days just alone, just to let the feeling go down, so that I could start thinking on the problem. Because if I would just jump at it when I was mad, I just couldn't even think about the problem. It's like my brain does. It's like the computer is overheating.
But why is it that when you are in this state of mind, you want to do the action the most, right? Like you really want to, you know, prove yourself the most.
Well, I think we're designed like that. Like I think that emotions come at a certain moments because of they're trying to. It's like a valve that is or a light in the thing that is trying to make you pay attention to something that you're not paying attention. And while you're not paying attention, you just behave in an irrational way so that if you don't pay attention, at least you learn the lesson. So, for example, if every time somebody makes you mad, you start fighting, at some moment, somebody's going to punch you in the face, break your teeth, and next time you're going to think about it. While you don't get your face broken, you just continue to do it. But you have the option of being, no, I'm angry. I don't have to fight.
Because there are no consequences, right? At some point.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's about how you go about it. But I believe in God, and I do believe that you are gonna learn the lesson, whatever the lesson is. whether you want it or not. And the easiest thing you can try to do is to try to understand what is the lesson and try to learn it for yourself. I have diaries, and I write on my diaries, and I've been doing for 21 years. And I feel like, yeah, well, that's how you learn about yourself, because you're just writing a book about yourself and
I've tried it
learning.
so many times, and I think because I have so little practice
Yeah,
on doing that, I cringe from myself, right? When I start to write down
yeah,
what I'm what I'm feeling, like, because all the feelings that I'm defining,
yeah,
they always stay in my mind, right?
yeah,
And when you actually, when I want to write it down,
yeah,
and when I read it,
yeah,
I'm like, oof,
yeah.
no, 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 closing the diary, and
Well, but that's part of the lesson, that we are disgusting human beings. Oh, no,
yeah,
in a way, what it makes you, but the truth is, everybody has something. Yeah, like you can cringe about yourself. The other person is not gonna like their voice. The other person is not gonna like whatever. So we're not supposed to be perfect, and it's okay not to love ourselves 100%. You just need to love yourself 80 to have a amazing
enough,
life. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Like
love yourself enough,
to have an amazing life.
exactly.
And that's, but it's okay also that it would be naive to think that, regret, resentment, or lack of self-love are part of the human experience. What you need is to balance it. What it cannot be is that when you're out of balance one way or the other, yeah, like oh, you have all the regrets in the world because you have been taking terrible decisions for 10 years straight. Yeah, then it's not that's a way of living too. I wouldn't advise it, but all the feelings are part of the human experience. And I think the part of the journal is that you learn about yourself and you cringe, but you also, at some moment, you'll be proud of yourself. You'll be like, look at this guy, he was only 26, look what he was doing. It's amazing
Do you
also.
do you read your diary as well?
Yes.
Do you look back?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
have like some routine on how you do it, or just
No,
whenever you feel like?
for example, if I started doing this not so long ago, maybe 4 years ago. Um, I started, I would find, because I'm having a lot of conversation and experimenting and trying to understand, okay, I want to make a movie. Why is the movie not happening? Yeah. So I had kind of like how my internal world is connected to the external world, what is being affected or not. So at some moment, I would go back to a lot of the times to the diaries. Oh, I remember that I had figured this out, what it was. So what I started doing was that at the beginning and at the ends of the diaries, I started doing recaps.
Mhm.
So when I would almost be finishing, I would start reading, oh, this is an important message. I'm just going to put it here so that I can access it quickly. So
Very
I've been
good.
doing that for 4 years. And I recommend it to everybody because I think what changed my life was the journals, because you really start learning about yourself. Because before that, I thought I knew myself and I had no idea. It's just,
Because when you're writing something like your subconsciousness like
yes. Well,
takes
and
part as well, right?
and because there are things that you're gonna discover. I started doing music after I met you. Do you think there was anything 20 years ago that was telling me that I was going to make music? Absolutely not. Do you think there was anything 20 years ago that told me that I could write songs? Absolutely not. So if we would go 20 years ago, I could swear on the Bible to say something. I'm not Christian, but whatever. Yeah, I could swear on my mom that I'm not a musician. No, I just didn't know it. Because as soon as I started doing, I had all the energy in the world to do it. I started having the most amazing dreams. I found the best people to work. I met you, like it changed my life, like you, a bunch of people. But there was a, it's very impressive how when you find something true to yourself, there's a whole world that comes to you. Yeah, because for example, I remember when we made the song to Eurovision and there's just like like a rainbow of emotion that, oh, we want to make this song and we want to talk and we write this and I love how you sing it, and then we send it, and those guys that it's just, well, I'm not gonna talk, but I have my thoughts that I'll tell you off camera. Then it's also, and we don't get selected. I'm like, listen, this song is amazing, and this, you go through all that experience. That is living.
But you know which song I really like?
Which one?
Wildfire.
It's good.
It's really, I really, really liked it back then. And
Yeah.
now I think I listened to it not so long ago.
Okay.
And I was still like, yeah, this is really good. This is actually really
A
good,
good song. I'm gonna tell you, I'm telling you the Eurovision thing. I grabbed that beat and I made a song
Really?
like a month ago. And because I'm gonna tell you the secret reason why you're here is because I'm gonna release an EP soon. I wrote 6 songs and I'm gonna release my EP. It's mixing and mastering right now.
What? Really?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, elaborate.
Elaborate.
Tell me more.
So, well, what happened was that when I was making the movie.
Wait, sorry, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Yeah.
First of all,
Yes.
wow. I'm super excited for you.
Yes, thank you.
So this song is going to be one of them, right?
Yes, but I wrote a completely new song on it, on the track.
The track is the same.
It's the same. I just changed the key, obviously.
Yes.
And wrote a completely new song on it.
Okay, great. When is it coming out?
I think it's gonna be like in maybe 2 months. Like right now, the mixer is mixing and mastering, but I recorded the album like.
Everything is done.
It's done. It's done.
Okay, now your turn.
Yes.
Tell me, please, everything.
So what happened was that I'm gonna give you a little backstory. When I was doing the movie, I needed 3 songs for the movie. I thought I would even need more, yeah, but I just needed 3, and well, I figured out that I could do with 3, yeah, and because I had 3 scenes in the movie that I wanted to have like a musical number. And one of the biggest problems, the biggest disappointments that I had was that I wrote one song that it was the same version. It was the same message. The guy tells it first because it's a romance. It's a romance about a guy and a girl. The guy tells us first, and then the girl tells the same song, but from her point of view. The vulgar song.
Yes.
So when I wrote the song, I remember I called you. I wanted you to make the girl version, and you said no and broke my heart. We'll get into that later. No, don't worry. But no, the worst part wasn't you. When you broke my heart, I thought you were going to be the worst part. But then I talked to our friend, and he also did the laziest pass to the song and made a terrible song that I didn't like. And I was like, man, I need something better. And he was like, no, this is how I want to do it and whatever and this. And it was just too boring. And I was like, I was very, very discouraged because I felt, it's like when I went to make the movie, I'm like, for the first time in my life, I don't have to think about the music. I got the music checked. I was like, and then I have.
We're 100% sure about that.
1,000,000% sure, yeah. And then I finished the movie, and now I have to make the music, and now nobody wants to make music. And I'm like, this is unbelievable. I felt because, for a while, it was very complicated for me, especially at the beginning. I started doing less narrative because when I needed music, it was a huge problem to get music as a director, as a film director. So this time I was so pissed. And then Anya she told me, like, listen, you have to do the guy song. And then Kika, that you met today, she had gone to high school with Patricia. So that's how we found Patricia, and thank God she joined. And that's how that got solved. But while I was going through, and the other one, Beate, sang it, that it was a song that I had written before, and I just rewrote it to be from the perspective to a girl to a guy instead of a guy to a girl. That is how I wrote it. So when that happened, at the end of the day, I was able to do it. I changed the beat of my song, wrote it completely different. But it was a nightmare to do that because I wasn't, now that the movie's out and that is finished and that I made the songs and this and that, I can say, well, it was in my destiny that I needed to record a song before being a film director. I was first a singer, then a film director, because at least a movie director, because of course I had directed short films and other things, but never a film. And but while I was going through, you feel very like fuck, like I need to have like a backup plan. But I also feel this. I think one of the problems that I had when I wanted to make the music is that I didn't have music on my own for the movie to show to anybody. So I don't know, because I know I sent you some kind of like first draft demo when I wanted to do the song. But now that I'm going to have music, it's just easier for the artist to understand, because I feel that a lot of the times what used to happen to me was that the people would be, yeah, but what kind of music do you make? And then I would, and then another thing that was a problem was that when I was doing music with our friend, I was doing a lot of the work there. I would say 80%. But the idea was like he was doing everything. So that I was just supporting him, not in everything except the music, that he was taking care of the music. But I was writing the song, the melodies, telling him how to sing, in which key, everything. So at the end of the day, it ended up being like that. But I think for the best, because now I have a true joy. Like, for example, today I wrote a song in 30 minutes because I write songs super fast, because I used to write movies. So when you switch from movies to songs, and granted, I'm not saying that the songs are good, but at least they're faster.
The songwriting is fast.
The songwriting is fast. It's fast, and to a point, and I know what I want to talk about. And for example, today is the first time I've written a song with the melodies first without having the lyrics. I normally write the lyrics first because I know what I'm going to talk about. But I'm happy with what I did today. And
so what happens in the end of the day was, with that movie, it actually gave you space to come up with your own EP.
Yes, I was like, I need more music. And something particular happened, that the way I made the song for the movie, my producer, the Lithuanian guy that I know, you know him, Nico. Nico has a Telegram channel where he puts his beats. So when I had to do my version of the song, I didn't like the beat that we had, because he had made it from the reference of, because my song comes in the bachelorette party and the stripper had put a song as a reference. No, to do his show. But of course, when you're shooting, you don't record that audio. And he had made a beat that it was from the reference, but I just couldn't get it. It's like I just couldn't make something like that. And but I found a beat in his Telegram group that was, but this sounds something it could work. So I grabbed that beat, I recorded it there, and then I went and did it. And I ended up being 10 times happier with anything that I could have done. But that process opened that then after I was like, I feel like I want to write a song about this. So I would go into his Telegram channel, find another beat right there. And and then and then I started that. I wrote 5 songs. Today I got another beat. Nico is in I'm going to write you later so that you save it, because then I have to tell him, like, listen, take it out of why is it there? It's mine already. So, but what ended up happening after I wrote the 5 songs is that I had one more song that I wanted to write. I had one idea that was, it has to make this EP. And I have my folder where everything we have created. And there was that song that was called Truth, that then it became Falling Into You. And that beat was there. But it was also the reference beat that we had at the beginning. It was very complicated. And at the end, I talked to a friend that's like, this was the beat. He sends me the tracks. Then I ended up recording the song. I didn't like it too much. And then I changed the key, and now I'm happy with the song. Well, it is what it is. I did my best.
No, but I hope that you remember the reason why I actually declined your kind offer.
I did. Still, I was too hurt. I was too hurt to remember. No, it like that.
Because there was a specific reason for that. At that time, you
Yes.
know, I was kind of on this self journey.
Yes.
Where I'm trying to define what music I do.
You wanna
right?
do, yeah.
What music I want to do, and at that moment, actually, there were several
Yeah.
several like people, there still are, you
Yeah.
know, several people that are asking me to do that kind of, hey, maybe you want to be vocals for the song, you know, that would be similar to also to what you offered there.
Yeah.
And I still know that I don't think I'm the best for that, right?
Yeah.
And that was the reason, and that was actually one of the first times,
Yeah.
just not long ago, before you wrote me, that I actually realized that music might not be for me, you know.
Okay.
And if I feel that it's not for me, maybe I don't have to, maybe I don't, it would be better for me to not go deeper into that, right?
Yeah.
Just to put it.
No,
put
I
that
get it.
aside,
I get it. I get
and
it.
because like if I
Listen,
now,
I'm happy because I love how the song ended up being. But if I wouldn't have loved that song, I would be
Then-
so pissed.
I wouldn't be here.
No, you would be here, but I would have received you like this. So how are you? It's like I have some.
There would be a like fight with words.
Yeah, exactly. I would have like a little list. So
Yeah.
you remember what? No, at the end, everything played for the better, for sure.
Do you plan also on some kind of presentation?
I wasn't planning to at the beginning, but the more I think I have to do it.
I mean, please.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, yes.
Throw a party.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's what I've been thinking.
Show us what you've done.
Yes.
Let's eat cake and.
Yeah, and some
drink
champagne,
champagne.
something. Yeah. No. At the beginning, I wasn't because, it's hard to see. I've been an actor and a director for so long. I've never sang I've never called myself a singer.
Yeah,
So-
but you've been helping.
No,
People,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
with that. So you know exactly
Yeah.
what to do.
Yeah, but when I just don't have the thoughts. But recently I was talking to a friend and I was like, oh yeah, I should do something because this is what people that release music do. But I wasn't planning just because I think a lot of the times I see these videos that people say, you have to, if you want to change yourself, you have to change your identity. And I think I'm still struggling with that because what I love about making music is just making it. It's just finding a melody that I like and putting some words in a clever way is just the biggest joy of and I'm alone in the studio because I don't go even a studio with a person. I like to record myself because it's faster and I get excited. I like this. I want to show you the demo of the song of the one that is in
please.
I have it here. I'm gonna put it to you.
Really?
Yes,
Now?
yes.
Can you do it on camera?
Yeah, for sure. We did it with another song in the last podcast, another song that is coming on the EP, but I want to do with this because you have a history with the song. Because you're going to hear the beat and you're going to be like, oh my God, and you're going to PTSD. Yeah, so.
I actually vividly remember where I was even sitting when you sent me the beat for the first time.
Okay.
It's the core memory for me.
Okay.
Specifically remember all the details, with the memory that we just talked about, that everything is plain
Yeah.
and gone.
Yes.
This is the thing that stuck.
Okay. I'm going to show you. I'm going to put of course, this demo, I made it myself. I'm going to give the same speech that every musician gives,
Of
yeah?
course.
This
It's
is just
only
a
a
demo.
demo,
Don't whatever, this and that, yeah?
It's going to be mastered.
Yeah.
There's going to be some changes, maybe.
Yes, and it's not only a demo, it's my demo that I literally found effects recently. So I just put everything to the max.
Reverb.
Yeah, I love it. That compressor all the way, the reverb all the way. That's
Of
what I like to
course,
do.
of
So
course.
okay, but you're gonna hear the beat and you're gonna be surprised because it's still the same song. You remember?
Oh my God. Oh, I vividly remember.
And of course, all the voices are together, but I'll just shut up. You confuse me, perhaps because I come from a far land where up is to the top, down where there's sand. Here I stop for a minute, I get lost in it. Have you been playing me all this time from the beginning? That's why I wander aimless, hasty and confused. How will our lives turn out? Will we stay by the sides? Will we live without? Keep us
100% radio hit.
and
Like-
completely different than what we had.
Completely different. I actually don't remember the melody.
Me neither.
That I was singing there,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
I want to hear show this part. This verse. If I don't conquer your world, there's no more reasons for us to behold. That sunshine burning at dawn. My favorite verse. There's only pain from the thorns, so please forget the mundane. That's for half lovers filled with pain. All the passion still the end. And then the chorus.
I mean,
Good.
you know, this sounds like the melody line
Yes.
sounds so much more expensive than what we did.
Well, but it has time has passed. We were starting. You have to give yourself a pass. We get better with time.
Yeah,
That's
no,
how I
but,
feel.
But I mean,
No, but I'm,
like even like the melody, right? Because I don't remember at all now. Like, what was the melody that I
that you
was
were singing. Yeah, I don't
yeah.
remember. But I'm gonna tell you, I remember when I heard that song, I loved it. Like back in the day, like because
How long ago it was? It was like
woo, I think it
6?
was
No.
not 6, but it was at least 4 years for sure, for sure.
3.5. It was autumn 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, because I just started, because I was at
It was after
Arthur's-
COVID.
I was at Arthur's parents'
Yes,
home.
yes. Because I remember Arthur's came to pick you up.
Exactly, something like that.
something like that.
Yeah.
But I remember back then, I loved the song. Like I feel it's, for me, the artistic path, what is important is that you're doing the best that you can. So literally, when I was sending in the family chat with the girls the songs, because there's 6 songs, in the EP, I literally send them and I would write in every message, I cannot do it better. Of course, now I hear, you hear everything that you didn't do at that moment. But I know
It's just a demo, right?
it's just that no, and you know that at the moment you just couldn't do it better,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the commitment. I did put like I don't know
Everything you've got in that.
everything, and 48 hours recording 6 songs nonstop. I was went this way, went the other way. The producer came, he gave me a way to record that is completely different how I was doing it, but it sounded better. It was also harder because it's easier to go. He records with all the effects in the channel, and it's just easier to go out of pitch. So it's harder to record that way because you're hearing everything and you're like, whoa. So it's harder to. But it's just such a. And I went and re-record the whole album, but that's what you gotta do, and then this is the best I could have done.
So I think the conclusion here for this, right, specific what you're saying, is that you're enjoying what you're doing.
I love
You're
it.
enjoying yourself.
I love it.
You're feeling happy. You
Yes,
know?
I love it. I love it.
That's important.
I
right?
laugh like a crazy person. Every time somebody gives me something because for example the repetition that I just don't follow and that I just don't follow, that's gonna be a back vocal. The producer gave me that. Nico told me that. And when I recorded, I'm like, this is so good. I didn't have that idea, but it's just so good. So I love, and it's a feeling. Because music is something that I have been doing just with the feeling. It just feels like I like it, and that's it. And then when I'm writing, I'm just trying to write something not clever, but in a way that how can I tell the truth? Because this is a song that I wrote to a girl that has blue eyes, and she was always be crying. So I was those misty eyes. I got up, paint a picture full of blue color that I just don't follow because she would tell me things and I would get confused. So it's a beautiful way, in my opinion, of how to say something simple. Yeah, that I can say.
But it's really good that you also have this capability
Yeah,
to build good storylines.
yeah. Well, but I've been writing since I'm 4, so the writing part was not going to be a problem. The thing that has surprised me is the melody line and the singing. That I just love that part, and it just comes very natural because I don't hear to other music to, oh, how I'm gonna do this. I'm just like, well, this feels slow. So I'm gonna. So I want this. I want this. Oh, this feels repetitive. Now I want a little surprise here. Like it's just a feeling kind of guiding everything, and it has been a beautiful journey because I'm having a blast.
Happy to welcome you to the
Yes,
musician
and you have
world.
you have been part of this. This is why I wanted to talk to you because it's so cool. And specifically with this song, I remember when I started playing with the beat, I'm like, fuck, I remember because I remember that I loved it.
Is this also going to be like your key song, or do you have other?
No, this is not the promotion. You want to hear the promotion?
Obviously.
Okay, let me
I'm
put-
so so looking forward, like to hearing,
Yes.
the finish.
The finish. Me
The
too.
finished
The
version.
finish. Because I'm gonna tell you, between when I heard the facts version from my vulgar song, from what I had, I was not even that one. I'm gonna tell you. We had a this was super funny. When we were making the movie, we had this mixed and mastered version from the Patricia song, and then we play it to Patricia. And, well, what do you think? Is that, well, it's not mixed and mastered. When it's gonna be mastered, I'll tell you. And we were like, yeah, of course. Who's the guy that you work with? And then we compare what Fax had done with the guy previously. It was night to day the difference, but even in her song, the difference was so big. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. Like I was very, very, very impressed. I do feel that in general, I like a little bit, not for Patricia's song, I think is perfect, and the other song, Beatrice's song, is amazing. I just feel that in general, for my music, I like dirty things a little bit more. I like a little
dry, right?
Yeah, and I also like more backing vocals and things a little bit, maybe a little bit rushed here and that. That is just more of a. But at the end of the day, I also believe that you work in teams, so I need to make everybody happy. And when the song is going to be in the radio and in the platforms, in the platforms, everybody needs to be happy with what is there. And I think for me, it's more important for them to be happy than for me to be happy.
I'm really glad that you have found, this team.
Yeah.
That you can work with and you can rely on.
Yeah.
It's really important because it's not that easy to find.
No, it's really hard.
And you've been through that.
Yes,
you know it perfectly.
Yeah. No, I'm super happy because, but I found it through you, through all of the ones that came before, because for me, yeah, it was immediate. Like when we started working in music with our friend before, it was just immediately I felt this is something that is had an energy on its own, and I just love doing it, and I wanted to do more.
And you trusted, right?
Yeah. Well, and I
yeah.
really felt that everybody that was around me was really good. I can't believe how good Nico's music is right now, because he also wasn't making these beats back in the day. He has gotten way better.
Yeah, but also back then he was,
No, he was already the man.
He was a big thing, in Lithuania, right?
Yeah, but the thing is that, I stuck with Nico because Nico has grown a lot as a person too. So, we have same type of interest, same type of, like when we were doing my song, because he, he told me, when you record, do a bunch of back vocals, then I'll take out. So here you're hearing everything dirty because I'm talking all the way through from the beginning to the end, so he can cut and take out. And when he was doing the final versions and sending the things to fax and the tracks, he was very aware of, oh, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? And the conversation became more about how do we feel about stuff. And I think that is something that we didn't used to do. Like when we were working in the Danny Silver project, it was like, oh, this song should sound, there was like I had all these kind of references.
But maybe it was also, applicable to the time when you were writing, right? Because not only people evolve, right, with the time as well, like the style, the I don't know, the practices on how you do it, right? Maybe back then it made sense, like it was just the way it was, and now it like changed the turn, somewhere else.
One thing that has happened to me is that I have a job, a daily job. I have stuff to do. If I'm gonna do this, I have been really approaching it from, it has to be fun. Not fun, but it has to be something that I vibe to, and that's how I approach it. And somehow with Nico has worked, because
how often do you guys like what's your meeting point?
We
somewhere
met
by the border.
No, we met. He came here because I wanted to do a podcast with him.
Yeah.
So we flew him in, and he was here, I think, a couple of days. Amazing. We had a blast. Got uber drunk. Music.
Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. But we normally, I think the writing process, I do it alone. So. And then I come with my ideas, but
send it over.
And then I send it over, and we meet, and then we start talking, and then at the end, I send him all the vocals, and then we finish. But we have found a way that is that everybody's working on their own side. But it was like that from the beginning. Sorry, damn, I'm spitting all over the place. It was like that since the beginning, that I remember we would say, Nico, we want a beat like this, or we're trying to make a song. 3 hours later, he would send a beat. So we weren't there with him all the time because, it's remotely. He's in Lithuania. So
you were his clients more than partners, right? And now,
yes,
maybe you're more partners than...
Well, I think it's in a way, no, we were still partners, because he was really into it. In the beginning, he really believed in the project, and all the people from that side, they really believed in the project. If anything, they were sad that nothing ever happened. And but I do feel that we have found a very good way of doing things, that when we meet, things are very done. So the decisions are a little, yes, they're not that much.
The structure is there, right?
It's almost all there. As I told you, for this one, I only recorded one more voice. That was that second voice that I just can't follow. It's the only thing that I put it, because everything else was it was done already. So, but I love it. And every time when we meet up, we catch up, we talk about the same thing all over again. It's very funny because, we have kind of like a way of experiencing life that we go back to the same all the time.
Maybe that's because I've also have been thinking about this,
Yeah.
When I have with someone this thing, where we always come back to the same topics.
Yes.
I think it's because it's so important to us, but we don't have anyone else to talk about that.
1 billion%.
Right?
1 billion%.
Because we don't, it's so important, but only we two
yes.
were present.
I'm going to tell you why it's true that, because
Mm-hmm.
last time I was with Nico, one of my brothers was here. Not the one that you know, but the other one.
Yeah.
And he was here, and he was so bored that we were talking about this. He was like, oh my God, you're going to start again with this? I'm like, he doesn't get it. It's like, motherfucker, nobody talks about this.
Even if the same words are used, right? Exactly the same order. It's still like you've been hearing that for the first time, right? It's still as interesting.
Yeah.
Topic
1000%.
as it was
1000%.
at the beginning.
but
Yeah.
I'm very happy to show you my music.
I'm very happy to hear. Thank you for sharing. I mean,
Yes,
I'm again looking so much forward
good,
to hearing that.
good.
It's unbelievable.
Okay, thank
Santiago,
you.
you're crazy.
Yes.
I mean it in every word, in every way possible.
Yeah,
The work ethic
yeah,
that you have,
yeah.
that's insane.
Yes. Thank you.
I really hope and believe that you know that.
Yes.
And
It's,
yeah.
it's by design. It's by design. Yeah, I love working. Listen, we normally when I start the podcast, I have a like a how to say a friendly improvised conversation, and then we get into some questions that they have for
Yeah.
us. Yeah. But this time, our friendly improvised conversation, I think, has been the longest ever I have done because I don't know how long we have been doing it. But
Really?
normally it's like 40 minutes, but I feel right now it has been way more. 1 hour and a half. Yeah, nice. Okay, so let's
Wow.
just to have some structure. But listen, I love this type of conversations because I feel I know that in 10 years all the work that we all have done is going to be somewhere, and we're going to be able to be back and see, look, this is when she saw, and it was in the camera, your reaction. And that's how I look at Santiago nervous there. I'm going to see myself and I'm saying, this is what I was thinking there.
No, but like in the before,
Yes.
like off camera, we
Yes.
talked about that we haven't talked like deep talks for a long time.
Yes.
And then now is going to be the time.
Yes.
And it really was,
It
right?
really was. That's why I was saving it for the camera. I mean, come on, people need to hear
Hear
it.
what we talk about.
Yes,
right,
it's
when we meet.
important. Not non-boring conversation.
Because this actually didn't differ anything.
That when we talk normally.
When we talk
The
normally.
only things that I had a surprise, and normally when we're talking, I don't bring you a surprise, but yeah. Listen, so we put it some questions that are related to music in general, to your musical path. Let's call it that way.
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the first one. That is like, how are your because I'm into tips and tricks. Yeah. So for example, what do you do how to overcome fear when it's everything related to music? Now, for example, today you told me I have this song that I haven't released. I'm afraid. What is your fear management process?
Considering that I haven't released it, I don't think I'm the one to represent this topic.
The one to be yeah.
However, I can talk about stage frightening. That could be the topic that I think I'm pretty self-aware on how to do it.
Okay.
Because even though I've been singing for a long time as well, right? And stage is definitely something where I've been there plenty of times. But still, from time to time, I get also the stage fright really gets me.
Yeah.
But I think it comes only because of the practice, right? Because I just know how it's gonna turn out.
That you're not gonna faint.
That I'm not gonna faint. Yeah, I mean, because for me specifically is that as soon as I touch the first letter of the first word, and if it's correct,
okay. What if it's not?
Well, then I just have to improvise.
Okay.
But because the stage fright usually makes me forget the first word of the first song.
Okay.
Like especially if I don't have the paper, right? But somehow the memory just do it for you. Like, just.
Do you rehearse a lot when you have things, or you just?
Oh yeah, actually. Well, it depends, right? If I have to sing the same 1 hour of the songs
that you have been doing for the past year,
then probably I don't have much. I don't need much rehearsal for that.
Okay.
But if that's something new, then definitely. If we add something more to what we do, then 100%. But yeah, I think the tip, it's from my side would be always try to remember specifically the first word of the first song.
The first word
of the first song, because once you hit the first word, it just goes smoothly. Like
Okay.
usually it's kind of a release from this fright, like the like,
Yeah.
and you're just okay, good to go.
Okay.
That's for me.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow, man, you have a lot of experience. But the thing is, like, you're saying this, and I'm thinking, I've never thought that I could forget the first word of the.
Oh,
Now I'm gonna be thinking about
oh I'm sorry.
that. No, I mean,
Because
I'll have to go.
that might happen actually.
Yeah.
I remember, oh, you know, when I was on that X Factor
Yeah.
on 2019. So on finals there were this song that we had to sing together, everyone, all the contestants that were in the finals, right?
Okay.
In the live shows.
Yeah.
And the song was Thank You for the Music by ABBA.
Okay.
And my part was, how was the lyrics? I think it was, I don't know why, but the Queen song is on my mind, not ABBA's. I'm a girl with golden hair, something like that, right?
Okay.
And I completely forgot the lyrics, and it was, you know, the live show, and I had to
Damn.
figure out something, and I sang, I'm like something that I'm, you know, not that I'm lucky because I have gold hair,
Yeah.
but I'm just a girl who's blonde, you know, and you know, like I made myself stupid instead
Okay.
of lucky
Okay.
with the
Okay.
lyrics. I don't remember vividly, but there is proof on the national news
Okay.
because that video is still there.
Okay. Okay.
And I remember how like the song ended. No one noticed except for the producers.
Of course.
And they were like, "Oh no, what the fuck was that? What did you sing?" Because you know it wasn't that the lyrics were wrong, but I sang it that also the whole story changed so
Yeah. Okay.
like it just changed
That story.
everything.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Okay.
I sang that I'm not a lucky girl. I sang that I'm a stupid girl, right?
Yeah.
And that changes the
Yeah,
perspective
it really changed it.
completely.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And but still, even though I didn't remember the lyrics, right? I had to do something. I
No,
couldn't
for
just
sure.
stand there,
No,
right?
no, I mean, come on.
It was a live, TV show,
yeah.
right? And the most viewed at the time,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I just sang like something, you know.
But I'm gonna tell you, when I went to with our friend to he wasn't on the live shows, but he was like on the first stage of the voice, no, the X Factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that they interviewed me for the show because I was with his brother.
Mhm.
We were backstage, and when they came
I
to interview me, I got nervous. And I at that moment I realized how much I cared, because never crossed my mind that I was going to get nervous.
Mhm.
Like never, not even
Not
like,
even, not even for a second.
not even for a sec. And I, of course, as you said, I'm not gonna be there like da 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 that you say something and you move on. But it was interesting because that taught me how much I care. And I was like, hey, I had no idea. But yeah, okay. So remember the
First word
okay.
of the lyrics of the first song.
Okay.
that
Do
can
you
sing.
remember your first concert ever? Or something
I,
big?
I don't think that I remember it, you know, as being present there because I was, you know, like 3 years old. But
Yeah.
also, fun fact is that from my region, so we have this children competition. It's called TALS. I'm not really sure whether it's still,
Okay.
you know,
Going or not?
going or not. But so I was there on 1998. So I was 3 years old. And so there are like regional competition, like in your city.
Okay.
Not so first there's like your kindergarten, like a small kindergarten like competition. You sing a song, and then like the winner goes to region. From region there is like my city and cities all around. You know, everyone comes together in this one like
Yeah.
cultural
Magical.
house, magical
Yeah.
competition
Yeah.
called Taos, translating chicken.
Okay. Wow.
And just chicken. And since 1998, I am still, if it's still happening, I think it was a few years ago, I'm still the only girl from Aizkrauklis region that was in the finals in
Okay.
Latvian national television.
And you remember the concert?
Well, actually, I remember not the concert itself, but I remember how scared I was because the
Just you remember the worst part of the experience. None of the good, just the worst.
but there's a reason.
Okay.
Right? It wasn't about the singing actually at all. It was because the topic of the national finals were jungle. And there were like this boy and a girl who were dressed as a jungle guy and with all these colors on their faces. And my mom told me, like, I saw them, I looked at them, and and I was screaming my vocal cords off.
Out.
Right?
Okay.
My mom said, like, I was like this. And another fun fact, they had, so I was the opening singer of the competition, and it was also going live. It was like live TV show on national TV. And my mom told me that they had to stop the live TV because they had to put me on the stage just to grab me off because I was so scared, and they put me on the stage. And they went, and my mom said she didn't know what's going to happen because, like, they stopped the TV show.
The show, okay.
Yeah, they stopped the show. Like, the screen was black for a while they put me on the stage.
Wow.
And I have a video actually on my Instagram. The second the song started, I lifted my head up, like, you know,
the tears.
The tears, and I started dancing and singing. It was like this.
Okay.
It was like since 3 years old, I just knew I gotta do what I gotta do. You know, I gotta work now.
Yeah.
I gotta sing. The music has started. I don't have any way back now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's cute.
Yeah.
I like that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really like to like watch it because I can see in the video the switch.
Yeah.
When the music starts.
The performers switch.
Yeah.
That is
yeah.
like,
And I can see the switch in the 3 years old eyes, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Wow.
interesting. Yeah.
That's very crazy.
Yeah.
It's in your Instagram.
Yeah,
I'll check it. I'll check it
Yeah.
after. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that sounds super cool. Okay. About your creative process. Tell us a little bit. What usually sparks a song for you? Like, how is your writing process? You start feeling music first.
Yeah. Well,
Today I did music first, and now since I did it, and it was like 3 hours ago.
yeah.
I have all the melodies already.
You can do it.
And now I'm like, why? No, but I'm afraid. What if I cannot think of anything? What am I gonna sing? La 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 la. No, I can't do this. So.
But also it depends, you know, because sometimes. No, it actually usually is that I hear some melody in my head.
Okay.
And then I just go to piano and I try to find what is the chord progression for the melody that's in my head.
Okay.
But
the melody
also,
the melody is of the lyrics or of the song in itself?
Just the melody.
Just the melody,
la,
yeah.
la, la,
Okay.
la,
Yeah.
for
Okay.
example, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like da 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 da.
Yeah.
Going like to piano and trying to find progression
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
la, la,
for
la, la.
that.
Yeah. But two of the songs that I have, I actually wrote. I was just playing ukulele at home, and the chords just kind of came, and then came to. So it depends, right? It could be the melody in my head, or it could be like the chords come. But if the melody, then piano. If the chords, then ukulele.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But never lyrics. I'm so bad with lyrics.
Yeah.
Like the worst.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, one of the problems that I have with that I was thinking while I was writing the melody line first is that the melody sounds like a word. Yeah. So for example, I'm like, this sounds like together or forever,
Yeah.
but I don't want to use together or forever because this was enough. Yeah.
But for me, is that the biggest challenge for lyrics is that all the melody that I create
Yeah.
always sounds English. you know?
Okay.
It always
Yeah.
exactly like it always sounds like some gibberish English word.
Okay. Okay.
And then like to translate it to this very hard Latvian
Yeah.
English,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
hard,
Yeah.
like with vocally hard, right?
Yeah. Phonetically hard.
Phonetically hard
Yeah.
language. It completely changes the whole melody softness,
Yes.
right? That I
Yes.
had.
Yes.
And then there's the challenge where I have no idea how to put that idea into Latvian language. But I want to write in Latvian because
It's easier. Yeah. Yeah.
it's like
Well, it's easier for you, meaning like your people are gonna understand
exactly
it. Your mom is gonna
exactly.
understand it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's more difficult
Language. Yeah. Yeah. It's
as-
harder to write it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Sorry.
harder
Sorry.
to write,
It's not easier
but
to
it's
make it.
easier to for
To
me
share
to
it.
understand and to share
and
it.
to share it with
Yeah,
the people
yeah,
around you. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. 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 No, but Latvian has to be. I'm gonna write a song in Latvian.
You will.
Just like in less than a week or two, because we're making this TV show and it's for
You
children.
just keep surprising me.
Yeah, it's the TV show is for children,
Yeah.
and I have to make the songs for the TV shows.
And you're gonna sing it.
I'm not gonna sing it because it's a girl, so most probably Beate will sing it. And but I will figure it out how to write it in Latvian. Of course, I'm gonna need help of somebody because grammatically, if not, I'm gonna sound like a monkey. And
Jungle Boy, I was so
Jungle
scared of.
Boy. Then the show is gonna have to be called Jungle Boy, because it's the best Latvian that I can do. But yeah, like we're creating this like children's series. And I really want to make something cool. I really like the idea that I have. I really like the scripts. And I realized that I really want to dive into a world that is fascinating. And I have been researching a little bit what people are doing around. And I think it's like, when people talk to babies that they're like, or they also talk like that to old people. And you're like, motherfucker, she's still alive. She's not dead. Like she's not retarded. So what I wanted to say is that I want something cool. When I was seeing these days like cartoons that I used to watch, and we put it the intros of a couple of cartoons that I used to watch. And the girls are like, oh, this is cool, whatever. And then comes one of the intros of, I'm like, damn, this looks like budget. Like compared to the other cartoons, like these people threw money at this. But it was cool. It's like, oh, this is cool. And I can see people trying to do something cool, not trying to do something for children because they want to make money, that you see that you understand, okay, this is the things that kids like, so that's why I'm gonna do it like this. So at least from the musical perspective, I talked to the guy that did I talked to the score of the movie. I want him to score the serial because I want to have something that when you hear it musically, because I think music is so important here. I want people to be like, damn, this good, and this song is cool. Like that a kid is gonna be like, ah. Like there was this song when I grew up that I love. I still sing it.
You might end up, in like very rich.
We'll see.
For children's show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really good business tactic.
It is. But in reality, I it's like I've understood that the one thing AI has shown me is that the only thing that pays off right now is to be you, because everything else you can do it with AI, and AI can make you a song in 5 seconds, and it's gonna suck, and it's gonna have Tonight and Forever repeated 1,000 times. So maybe that's a song that I should write. Tonight, forever, forever, tonight, forever. Yeah. So but yeah, that's kind of like what I'm trying to do. But okay, you write, you don't have a way, you feel it comes more from the feeling.
Yeah, But I mean, it's still melody. It's either chords or melody in the head, but it's always music,
Okay,
right?
it's always music.
It's
Okay,
always music.
first. Okay,
Yeah.
good. If I don't find words for this song, I'm gonna be in trouble, and I'm gonna tell you that's why you have problems with the lyrics. It's easier. Start with the lyrics first, because I never have problem with the melodies. Okay. Do you write for yourself first, or are you thinking of the audience when you're writing?
I think audience, and that is the problem.
Yes, I don't care about the audience.
And I really do. Like I've always.
Well, that's
cared.
empathic.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to have as a person.
Yeah, but but it's like as a musician, I should be actually kind of whatever. I mean, I like it, right?
Yeah.
And also I like going back to the song that it's really dear to me now.
Yeah.
The one that I
the
wrote.
one that you told me. Yeah.
Like I'm not releasing
That you're releasing soon.
that I'm releasing soon.
Okay.
Even though, like, for example, I've shown it to my friends, right?
Okay.
My friends 100% agree that that is like the best song.
Yeah.
But still, it's like I'm afraid about what's going to happen with it.
People are gonna hate it, and you're gonna be happy. Who cares? Like it's like it doesn't matter.
Oh, please give me your mentality, right?
You need a selfish pill.
Because
selfish pill.
I am 100% sure if I had a little bit more like this fuck it mentality,
Yeah.
I would have so many songs right now, right?
Well, then make it a decision.
Everything ends like without starting because I start to think of something that should impact me and only me.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I'm going to tell you about my process, because my process, for me, the gift is making the song. Mm-hmm. Like that is what I'm going to get paid. Yeah. If I manage to sing it to a bunch of people, I've never experienced that. So I'll tell you later. Yeah.
Soon.
Like
in the presentation.
At least in the presentation, I'll tell you if I feel something, because maybe it's because I haven't experienced it. I'm not addicted to it. And maybe I'm going to be, and then I'm going to be like you. Yeah. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So I really don't have that part. And as an actor, I never did a play that I wrote. So even though I like the applause of the public, yeah, it wasn't about something. Of course, you need to care about what you're saying as an actor. I'm not going to be in a play that talks about something that I don't care. You need to care and to relate. But if people don't like the play, I'm not going to think anything about myself. I'm going to be pissed at myself if I didn't do my best effort. Yeah, if I didn't put all my time, my ideas, my things didn't give the opportunity, which is what happened with the movie. The only things I regret about the movie were the concessions that I had to make. But in reality, we self-financed the movie. So a lot of the things were from the money perspective. But now the movie's out and it's going to be forever. So I hate myself for being so cheap. Yeah, like I should have. If I thought that scene needed to be better, go back. Of course, it's easier to say it right now. And I'm happy how the movie is, because I stand by it, because it's 10 times better than I ever think I imagined. But the concessions I gave thoughtlessly, we don't have money, or people don't care about this, or whatever it was. Yeah, we don't have enough time.
But it was also a huge project, right? So it wasn't only... so it didn't depend on you only.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There were a huge team working on it.
Yeah, no, and I also had this terrible fear: what if I don't finish? Because so many people start a movie and never finish, especially the first one. So I was like, I need to finish it. I had my face on the line. But when it comes to music, my payment is the recording. It's me finding the melodies. It's me. Right now, you said, that melody progression is better than what we had before. I love that you said it. Like, for me, Anna liked it. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, you see what Anna said, because I loved your song, and I think highly of you as a musician, as a singer, as a performer. So I like that. but it's not gonna trump the I just have so much fun. I discover because I feel the experience of writing music as I am going into a dark cave with a flashlight. There is a song there. I just start pointing the flashlight and I see and I start writing and I start writing and I go back and then I see all the painting outside the cave and I see, wow, this was inside because this song was inside of me. I had no fucking idea. So I'm as impressed
Yeah.
as anybody else to hear it. So, for example, with Kika,
This is the first time I'm hearing this perspective.
well,
And I love it.
well, I was the other day I was talking to Kika and I tell her, she tells me, she hears one of the songs, she gets emotional. I'm like, what? And she's like, I didn't know that my boyfriend was a musician. I'm like, me neither. That's just like it's like I had no idea.
It's the first time for both of us.
It's a well, and she's like, no, but you don't understand how it feels. I'm like, I really understand how you feel because I had no idea. And that is the feeling that I'm going to discover something that is within me that I have no idea, and I'm as shocked as anybody else. But that is my payment. That is that I discovered that was inside of me. Okay, Anna, I'm just gonna finish the point.
Yes.
Because
do you remember what you were saying?
yeah, going out in the cave to see the song and finding
yes.
it there.
Yes.
So because that's my reward from making the song, then everything else that has happened. I do it with the girls. So the girls like the music, I put it with them. We play it in the car, and it's as far as I go. But it has been a pretty selfish act that is driven by feeling. I didn't get into music, like I have enough jobs. So I wasn't going to get into this. So
For the money.
for the money or for the praise. Like if I want to praise, it's in the jobs that I'm doing already. Yeah. So that has had a very different approach, but that approach has really liberated me in the other things because it has made me a little bit, maybe selfish is not the word. It is selfish in a way, but it is also an understanding that the only thing I have to offer is myself. And
Confidence,
then,
right?
for sure. But if people are not going to like what I create, I know I sat and did the best I could. So I'm just not good enough, and that's okay. Like that's my.
Yeah, but like I couldn't. I don't know what's that. What's that thing about me? But I have to be the best at everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
Why?
I have no idea because I think I used to be so bad at things that when I realized that I'm good at something, it went in the completely wrong direction because when I realized that I can be good at something, I wanted to be best at everything.
Do you have fun, for example, when you recorded that song? How is your process? Do you like it, or you're doing it because you have to be the best?
Oh no, I love it.
Oh, you love it.
I love it. I really enjoy it. I think I was actually like
Tearing up.
tearing up when I was recording the song.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the process. I love it. Especially when you write the demo and then you record like several voices,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And when you put it all together, even if
Yeah.
it's only demo version,
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
Yeah, my
this is the moment,
Yes.
right? This
yeah,
is the thing.
even these demos, when I put them together, I was like, oh my god, I love it. Yeah, but it's funny that you tell me that you have that attachment to the result, to say it somehow. I don't know why in this, and in general now I don't have it. I'm like, I'm gonna do social media. I'm gonna try social media. I have one view. I don't care.
I think I have some like I love them, right? I love them. They're my like dear friends, but I have some friends who are very open about what they think, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes like no, Anna, like some
Whatever.
generic shit,
Yeah.
like why are you doing this? And that cuts me off of these things the most, because I think if the closest people tells me that it's shit, how can I even think of doing it further, right?
For me, it's weird because my closest people, they they think I'm a fucking genius. So I'm the other way around. I'm like, they don't know.
Yeah.
Like I cannot listen to them. They're biased. They love me, so it's impossible.
Yeah.
So I have to actually not pay attention to the people that is close to me. But for example, I'm gonna tell you, I love this. We had this conversation. I love it. People are gonna see it or not. Who the fuck cares? If they don't see it, they're missing some cool demos, some
Yeah.
cool reaction, some crazy stuff that happened. And if they don't care about that, it's fine too. Like that's kind of my approach. For me, it's like I love the conversation that we're having and what you're sharing and the way you see things and the way I'm gonna go home and think about, okay, she also does melodies too. Let me see how it's gonna be my struggle. Next time I'll tell you if it worked for me or no. Oh, no, I still have those melodies there. They cannot be a song. Well, whatever
No,
it's gonna be.
but really, please share.
No,
Please
I
share.
will.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I can't shut up. You know,
Yeah.
so don't worry about that. But
Well, it's all the team can about both of us after 2 hours of yapping.
they're gonna be like crying and sleeping. But the thing is that that the another thing I'm gonna tell you, I have found out that the more I don't care about what the others care, the better I do my job, and eventually that leads to my best job. That leads to the people that give me the most praise for saying it.
Yeah, I mean, the logic there is pretty clear
Yeah.
of how things should be done.
Yeah.
And once again, my, emotional attachment to every single thing that I do.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. In theory.
but I actually really enjoyed that I came here because it also gives me a whole nother perspective of how you work, right?
Yeah.
How you approach these things, and that it's not, black and white, right?
Yeah.
Here I can be scared, but it doesn't mean that
That you shouldn't do it.
That I shouldn't do it. Also, because I myself should listen to what I'm saying, right? Because, like, for example, I'm very, very, very afraid of flying, right?
Yeah.
Flights, and then people knowing, like my friends knowing and my family knowing how afraid I am, they're like, "But you're flying like so often. You're like going there and there and there, like how like, but you are afraid." And I'm always, saying them, yeah, but flight takes me like 2 hours or 3, okay, 6 hours, 5 hours, whatever. And then like
You're in paradise.
and then I'm in a paradise. Like I forget about the flight the second I'm off the plane.
Yeah.
Right? The second.
Yeah.
So maybe I should just follow my own
Advice.
advice.
That's why I'm gifting mirrors in this country. You see, you have the answer. You just need the mirror to tell it to yourself.
We began with magic mirrors,
yes.
and now we finish.
Closing
We're
with
closing
magic mirrors.
with me finding the magic mirror that you
Yeah, that I'm gonna gift you.
Yeah.
That I'm gifting you. How to say spiritually.
spiritually.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, like in my opinion, well, you have heard from me a lot of praise because I really like what you do, and I don't understand, but of course I didn't grow up in your house, in your body, and in your, so it's because I will tell you, just do stuff and release it. This is what that works for me, and it also makes you. I think it's a little bit also of practice. The more you release, the less you start caring. Yeah. So
Most likely.
so right now I have no problem releasing now because I'm dumping all those reels in social media. So who cares? Like people have been trashing me for 8 months behind my back, in my face, and they're gonna continue, and it's good because I love trashing stuff. There's nothing that I can enjoy more than trashing somebody else's terrible work. I'm not gonna do it in a video so that people can go and quote me, but I love doing it, and I think the more they trash me, the more I can go to heaven because my karma gets clean. Let's put it that way. So yeah, exactly. So, but no, I feel that this a song in your hard drives weren't supposed to have songs. People are supposed to have songs in their head, and like just share it and continue. And I'm happy that you're saying that you like that you said at the beginning that you hear Wildfire and you still like it. because I like a lot of the things that we were doing back then. And I didn't understand how that didn't give more fire to do more to all of you, because I thought you
No, but it did. Like at
okay,
some point it did, right?
okay,
I was pretty consistent
yeah,
at what I'm
yeah,
doing.
yeah, 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 yeah,
And then it stopped.
yeah.
And it stopped. I don't know why.
That's the part. Yeah, no, don't stop. Why?
It just like I think that there started like to be this pressure, you know. So when is the album coming out? Why are only singles? When is the album coming out? When is the album? When is the album? And then, you know, this pressure just kept on coming.
Yeah,
And like I always wanted an album.
yeah.
And then I actually like I have the whole concept of it. Like
Go do it.
everything is figured out,
Okay.
right? But the pressure, right? It just keeps me away from it. Like
Okay.
also now I'm like the pressure even keeps me from releasing a single, because I know that the first question that I'm gonna get is, so another single,
Yes.
where is the album?
I don't know.
Where is the album?
Tell me. Have you found it? Give it to me. I want to have it too.
Will you financially support me?
Exactly. No, like, well, you have to walk your path. If anything, I'm trying to be helpful. Like,
I know, and you know, and I've been. It's ridiculous how many, like, weird reasons I've been giving you of why I'm not doing right, and every 5 minutes it's another reason.
Now it's the singles' fault.
now it's the singles' fault.
Yeah. No.
So there are millions reasons, but actually none of them are
well,
true.
and you just have to do it. And it is, I think in every creative thing that we do, there are, I always picture it like this. There are things that we think that are going to be good and they end up being good. There are things that we think that they're going to suck and they end up sucking. There are things that we think were going to be good and they end up sucking. Yeah. But there are also things that we thought they would suck and they end up being good. So everything balances out. And the only hack to say it somehow that I have found is just do more. Because after, these are my, I don't know, I have written already like 20 songs. Of course, they're better. So we were talking about Truth when you did it back then. Well, but we had less songs. So, it's like, of course, they're not going to be as good. But I'm expecting that the songs that I'm going to do at the end of the year, they're going to be better. Yeah, like, and if not, I just reach my full potential and it is what it is. And yeah, they're telling us 5 minutes. We have 5 minutes. Okay. Good. So, well, at the end, I think we are going to have to cut this short.
Sorry, everyone.
It's like if we were like this and then we fell down. So we have to wrap up because the cameras are all falling down. The office is on fire.
We have killed all the technical.
Dead. Yeah, and everybody's dead behind the camera. But no, listen, I love this conversation.
Me too. Really, honestly.
I love that you're pushing me to do the release because now I feel more that, okay, I have to do it.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah, so yeah. I'll follow your advice. Thank you for coming. Thank you for talking to me. We'll for sure have another conversation so that we can finish the questions that we barely started. But I love talking to you. This is really cool. And I really understand, when you couldn't do it, you were going through something. And I had no hard feelings because everything played to the good, but be careful because if next time it doesn't, there's gonna be hard feel. You're not gonna get any more my Christmas cards because
bonus cards are emptied out.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but no, thank you for coming, and I can't wait to show you the things, and it's really cool to talk about music, about you, and we basically did was a recap of our lives in a podcast form.
The past few years.
Yes. It's cool. It's cool that you came. Yes.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you. And we have to say bye. Bye.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye.